Join Vince and I, and even Dooms Vince, every Wednesday night at 7 Central Time on the Supervillain Network for a brand new episode of the Geekvolution Radio Hour. A full hour of intellectually stimulating discussion, or the next best thing. Bryan Cranston has said that he will play a Marvel villain if somebody asks him to, and I've read, I don't know how true this is, that he might want to play Sinister, which I think is awesome. When I first read that headline in Marvel, I figured Marvel Cinematic, or I mean Marvel Studios, but Cranston is Sinister? No, I could see it.
Sure. Why not?
I think it's great. I mean, it kind of describes his whole performance in Breaking Bad.
I kind of feel like he could play Sinister. A lot of different Machiavellian characters.
Yeah, well, I think he's got so much range.
Yeah.
That there aren't a lot of characters, unless they're just too young and not male, that I would say, yeah, I don't know about Bryan Cranston for that. Like, I could see him for lots of different things.
I've always kind of seen Sinister as a younger-looking character. Like, doesn't he never age?
Yeah, but makeup, dude.
Yeah.
So much makeup. I mean, like, and you could CGI stuff, too. I mean, who knows how they'll do that.
Here's a question. If you never age, how do you get to that?
You stop aging at some point.
Oh. Yeah, you age
so
until you stop.
age until then.
And if you're a mutant, your powers don't manifest.
And also, and it depends on. I love that you brought that up. We should do a whole show on that because there are also different kinds of characters that come from with different kinds of mythologies that are the reason that they are that they never age. You get clones that are made to not age past a certain point, but rapid age until they get there. You have
like Shinzon.
You have vampires that are turned at whatever age they were, and then they look that way for the rest of their life. There are lots of...
Like,
you have robots...
just always existed that way, too.
You have robots that are built to look a certain way. What were you going to say?
Robots.
Gods.
Gods.
They just always existed that way.
Well, no.
Not necessarily, but a lot of some of them.
Because in the Norse mythology,
in Greek too.
Yeah, they grow older. There's a previous generation.
Yeah, that's true. And that's why Marvel's, and I like how Marvel Cinematic has been dealing with the idea of relative gods, where it's a god to us, but they're still not immortal.
Yeah, they age just really.
Okay, just a couple more casting things I wanted to throw out. This isn't a thing, Vince, that you'll care about for the show, but it is an interesting historical thing for history that I thought you might enjoy knowing about, and that is that Pee Wee Herman himself, Paul Reubens, is coming back to play Penguin's dad again in Gotham. You remember he had a little cameo at the beginning of Batman Returns.
I guess I didn't realize it was him.
That's Paul Reubens, where he is Oswald Cobblepot's natural father, his biological father,
and sets him afloat.
Yes, and
he sets him adrift in the world.
And they're going to bring him into Gotham. Now, I'm sure it will be insane and nuts, and probably not necessarily make sense because that's that show. But whatever they end up doing with him, but he will fit right in because that show is so out there. So I don't know. I think that's really cool that they got him to come back and do that again.
Bryan Cranston should play Clayface. In a Marvel movie?
Yeah.
Could you make a movie where Bryan Cranston plays all the characters?
Sure, why not?
He has such a range.
Yeah, Nutty Professor. He's
the Nutty Avenger.
Vince, you remember Carrie Ann Moss, Trinity in The Matrix?
Yeah.
Haven't seen her in anything in a really long time. She is going to be in the Jessica Jones show.
Oh, cool.
And she is playing a comic character that I'm not familiar with named Jaren Hogarth, who was the attorney for Iron Fist. The father of Iron Fist, and then apparently later she became the hero for hire lawyer.
Okay.
And so that's kind of neat. I haven't seen her in a long time, so it'll be interesting to see her come back and do something. But I can see her as a lawyer. Movie. Oh, really?
Yeah, she was in Fido. She played the mother of the boy, who I guess the boy was kind of the main character. I don't know, I recommend Fido. I think you might find it interesting.
Okay.
I don't think you'd be like, I'm really glad I watched it. It was the best thing I've seen in a long time. Because that's how J. Cap sounds in my mind.
Yeah.
Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
Kermit the Frog speaking through a filter.
The Frog.
I have been told that I should stop opening these shows with hi-ho. With hi-ho, everyone. Anyway,
and then right before everybody starts singing, he goes, "Yay!"
So I'm interested to see that, and I've been predicting Heroes for Hire for a long time. I think that'll happen eventually.
Yeah, that should. I mean, especially if they have a Luke Cage thing. Anyway.
I mean, a lot of the characters that they would probably want to use for Heroes for Hire, they're already putting in the Defenders, so I don't know.
Bothers me.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
know.
Daredevil's been connected to the Heroes for Hire before. I mean, but since he does a lot of pro bono work, it'd be weird to put him into Heroes for Hire.
Well, I mean, and they're not doing that necessarily, but I'm just saying that, I mean, like, they're already going to have this team thing called the Defenders. I think, isn't it Defenders? Yeah. And so I'm not real sure why we would do Heroes for Hire at this point, but
I would personally like to see an eventual,
that's another show you could have episodic and not really have big overarching stories.
What if he was in there to be an antagonist to the Heroes for Hire? He does everything for free.
That's
everybody
funny.
else does everything for money.
Yeah.
And they're like, why are you doing this for free?
So it leads up to the Defenders, and then they split off
undercutting
and make
us.
some money.
And then Daredevil's like, why are you so self-interested? And
That's right. You're undercutting our operation over here.
Vince, you will not believe this last bit of news.
I refuse to believe this last bit of
Well,
news.
you might, given DC's track record lately. DC has just announced at New York Comic Con that they are. So Dark Knight Returns 3 is coming out. You've heard about this, I'm sure. The Frank Miller and Brian Azzarello doing a third Dark Knight Returns.
Oh God, I had
the
no idea.
Master Race. Really? Because that's just about to come out. Like they've been on. It's been on all the books lately.
Why would they put out a
it's on
third one? People
bags
hated the
and-
second one.
I know. Because DC is kind of in trouble right now, and they need something that they know people will buy just on spec, and that is one of those things. Well, they're also doing a prequel. Yay!
Is that one also by Frank Miller?
Yep. Well, Frank Miller and Azzarello, and it's hard to know just how involved Frank Miller is with these things, or if his name's kind of just on him. But given that, you know what though, Dark Knight 3 is called The Master Race. No, Frank Miller's involved.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah. But anyway,
that crazy conservative, probably racist guy.
Azzarello is also now. At least if we're doing a prequel, we're using the same guy that's doing 3, so they can have some consistency there. Although there could be some irritating plants in the prequel for things for that third one, and that could be annoying. But anyway, it's Miller.
Well, if Poison
Azzarello.
Ivy is involved, there's usually irritating plants.
It's Miller, it's Azzarello, and then Ramita's drawing it.
Huh.
John Romita Jr. is drawing it, and some people are excited about that just because it's the first time that he and Miller have done anything together since Daredevil. So I guess that's kind of neat, and weird because it's DC, and I don't know. Romita at DC has still been really weird to me. But
Yeah.
I like the stuff on Superman. Okay, a lot of people don't like it. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
And I usually don't like Romita, so I guess I'm just opposite man. But.
New superhero, opposite man.
But yeah, but I mean, like, obviously a lot of people are saying that this is a kind of just money milking a thing, and it reminds me a lot of Before Watchmen. Do you kind of see it like that too?
I see it as a mistake personally. I'm like, sure, it's going to be a high profile book, and maybe people will buy it, but I would feel real bad for DC if they went through this thing, produced something that I would almost bet money good old Frank Miller doesn't want to produce anyway.
Well, who knows?
I mean, he didn't want to produce the second one, and they paid him too much money to refuse.
I saw that's right. I saw a comment from somebody that said, "Well, we already have a prequel to Dark Knight Returns. It's called All-Star Batman and Robin."
That's fair.
Which was never finished. Wouldn't it be really funny if this
terrible.
Wouldn't it be really funny if this prequel was just issue 12 of that, or 11, or wherever it was we left off? Like, that'd be really
man.
funny. Like, it opens up with Joker with the big dragon tattoo on his back, and you're like, oh yes, of course.
I kind of feel like Frank Miller should just look over the shoulder of somebody. Like, here, you write it. I'll come up with some ideas.
I think that's exactly what's going on.
Oh, good. Maybe it won't be terrible.
Well, Azzarello.
Maybe Azzarello will write it.
Well, no, he is writing it. I mean, that's what it is. It's yeah.
I thought
it's Nolan
Azzarello was drawing it.
He's got script credit.
Cool.
In fact, I don't know who's drawing.
Well, heck, maybe I'll read it.
I don't know if he's drawing 3. Actually, I forget now. Who's drawing that? But I mean, Ramita's drawing the prequel. I'm almost positive that Azzarello's just writing that. I honestly don't know, because frankly, I can't get excited about it myself.
Well, it'll come out soon. We'll find out.
We'll find out. Now, you know what? I always do this. I can't get excited about it. I mean, I'll probably buy it.
I'll read it.
What's wrong with me? But anyway.